Good, beautiful morning. It's Wednesday, October the 5th, 2022. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach, and I want to welcome you to Shortcuts for Your Soul. Today I have with me the energy of my guardian angel, John, who wants to talk about the power over your genetics, that you have power over your genetics. But before we get into that, I want to share a quote that I got from Archangel Michael last night, and I think it's really important that you hear this from Archangel Michael, and he said, the two most important emotions you all have to overcome, first and foremost, are fear and anger. He says, if you do not overcome these, or helplessness, there is no escape from that outcome when you're stuck in those emotions. If you are able to overcome these in yourself, you will eventually be brought to love and patience. And it is only through these that humanity will find its lasting salvation, through love and patience. But I like that understanding that through anger and fear, only two things we can go to are violence or helplessness. I thought that was really brilliant. It really touched my heart when he said that to me when I was going to the washroom last night. Now, that being said, let's look at what John wants to talk about today, because it's really important you understand this. Part of the noise is they're doing some renovating above us, so if you hear a bit of hammer drilling, it shouldn't be too distracting. But if it is, I apologize for that in advance. So what John said to me, he said, people don't understand that most of those in authority in the world are distracting you with your senses. They are deliberately and intentionally distracting you with your senses. They keep you outside of yourself. They keep you stuck in the memorization of what they want you to remember, what they want you to think, and when they want you to think it. And so understanding that your genes, your genetics, are not beyond your ability to assert control and authority over. What makes it difficult to do so is you are disconnected from the internal mechanism within you that would allow you to control your genetics. He's saying what you call your subconscious mind is the area where you connect to all things within you and around you, not just in the waking moment of your mind, of your personality, which separates you from everything else. You have been so constructed as to be stuck in your body as if it's the exclusive member of your consciousness. But it is simply an extension of you that you're here to use. You're here to learn to use the body system as an extension of your consciousness, not as the source of your consciousness. Your ability to actually learning to going within to the place where your subconscious field is, that is where no thoughts from your individual personality exist, but where you, as an awareness, maintain awareness, independent of the personality construct that you have. The group of practitioners of this area, you call them Buddhists, have learned to put aside the personality, have learned to put aside their separateness, and have learned to go within to the system that controls body, mind, emotions. And that is you. You are the source of that mechanism that can learn to control those things, but you must learn to go within, deep within, separate from the individuality you have, but conscious that you are still aware as an individual, just not bound up by the externalized creation called your personality. Many of you believe that that body is you. Many of you believe that the thoughts in your head are you. Many of you believe that the emotions that are created by the thoughts that you have in your head that were given to you are you, and they are not you. They are extensions added on to your awareness. He says it's really important to go within, to learn to still your mind. Turn the thoughts off. Go within. Draw your attention from this world. Go deep within the inner realm. And in there, in that place where what your conventional sciences call the autonomic nervous system, can fall under the dominion of your conscious authority. And you see many examples of individuals doing this, those that can immerse themselves in boiling water, walk across coals, that can immerse themselves in frigid conditions for extended period. You're seeing clear examples that you can gain access to this autonomic system, which does in fact alter and change the genetic structuring of the body if you get yourself into a position where you can begin to do so, direct that function. Most of your genetic system is made up by the external world and the historical conditioning of your body. Learning to make the distinction between the external conditions of your body and your mind and your personality and that of your being, awareness that can shift perception from the outer to the inner or from the inner to the outer. Learning to make that transition, you can make internal changes, thereby causing external manifestations. It is how creation happens in this physical dimension. What you do not see becomes seen because it was brought from a realm that is invisible to your senses and brought through the medium of emotion, the medium of thought, the medium of biology into actions of expression that cause these things in the invisible realm to appear in this visible realm that you call your physical world. He says it's very important you understand this, that until you learn to go within, to make the distinction between your awareness, the personality the world is constructed, you cannot even consider the concept effectively that you can change and alter your genetic conditioning. But most of you have been conditioned to become exclusively reliant on the world of the five physical senses, even though you understand that the invisible realm of your thought exists as equally as this external world. You can be aware of thoughts in your mind, can you not? Every one of you can be aware of thoughts, even though they are invisible to the external world, except by way where they come through the medium of body and are expressed. But thought is an invisible realm of energy that interacts with matter, just as emotion is an invisible realm of energy that interacts with thought and matter. And you, as awareness, are an invisible soul, a consciousness that has the capability to interact with the invisible realm of thought, emotion, and the physical realm of matter. When you come to this understanding and you begin to illuminate yourself to understand this area that your science calls the unconscious, the subconscious, that you can move your awareness in there and make changes, significant changes in your conditions of biology, in your conditions of environment, for all changes in human societies. Throughout the many millions of years human societies have existed in different forms on this planet, that process has always remained true, that the inner affects the outer. The outer does assert some influence over the inner until one awakens to the realization that all creation begins in the invisible realms and manifests as the visible. This is so important to understand. And if you begin to go within and examine a quiet mind, that you can interact with every organ in your body intimately, more intimately than anybody else on the planet can interact with your body. You can have a more intimate relationship with your body than any doctor or healer or physician. For you are within the house. You live in the house. Nobody lives in your house. But in your house, you must understand there are certain fundamental rules of energy, of thought, that induces and affects changes in your condition of experiencing time, space, and matter. This movement of energy called emotion, that you can initiate by getting attached to a certain conception that has an electrical charge, a conception of joy, for example. If you think about something that makes you feel good, the thought of good stimulates an electrical charge that is good, an emotion that is positive, that affects your nervous system, which also interacts with the different organs and components and organisms that make up that body. And this works true for thought forms that are both negative and positive. The process remains true. But what I simply came here today is to give you an awareness, at least the awareness that when you learn to go beyond the constructed personality that you have against the tendency of those in positions of what were supposed to be benign authority, where they now seek to control and manipulate you through your senses exclusively, that you can step back from that manipulation, go within, and begin to become the architect of your manifestations and your experiences in this physical dimension, rather than letting yourself be drawn into manipulations by the outside world, which would seek to have you become what it desires you to be for it and those that are in positions of authority that are not benign, that are serving their own self-interest. You have power over your genetics. You even have power over the oxygenation of your blood. You have power over the rate and frequency of your heart. You can cultivate that awareness, but you must learn to go within. You must learn to differentiate yourself from the identity that the world has fabricated for you. And the unnecessary complexity that has been created around concepts like meditation seems to slow others down that are sincerely seeking to know the truth that would set them free. This concept of meditation is not a complex thing. It is a function that you can utilize the application of your breath, which is a divine instrument of life. That is what your breath is, a divine instrument of your life. It is. And that divine instrument, when you learn to apply it properly, you can direct the mind and body into stillness, into silence, thereby differentiating yourself from the distractions of the environment via your body and going internal where the distractions of the world, the distractions of your past, the distractions in your mind have no sway over your true nature as a soul, as a spiritual, universal entity of light. Spirit of universal light, soul, that is what you all are in essence. You are not what the world has made you up to be. And there are many who have a vested interest in sowing division and confusion because it serves them. So go within yourself, learn to put aside your judgment, your analysis about the world. Go within, begin to reclaim your divinity. That is something unique and distinct from all others. Whereas this homogeneous process of education that seems to try to cookie cutter you all into one big box does not serve you, nor they who would control you. Even those who are seeking to control you are simply affecting themselves negatively, whether they are aware of that or not. If you understand the nature and form of emotion, which is an energy, and that each and every one of you has direct and immediate access to that energy, whether you are rich or poor, then the way in which you individually and collectively affect this emotional field is determining the experience that you see outpictured in this physical dimension. And only by way of going inward, differentiating from the external world, going to the internal world, remembering who you are as awareness, that you can independently select thoughts and ideas or ask to be given new ideas, new thought, and new inspiration, therefore affecting a dynamic change in the human collective experience. But you must understand, to get to that place in your consciousness where you're no longer subjective to the external world, but offering creatively what you came here to offer as a spiritual entity, as a soul. The true nature of what you are is founded in a vibrational frequency of love. That is the true nature of what you are as a soul. The structure and nature of your personality is somewhat different because it is made up by the environment and experiences from many lifetimes acquired. The communication today will not be on how other lifetimes might be contributing to your current existence, but suffice to say that even your past lifetimes were mostly constructs based upon the external world, creating a personality for you that is separate and distinct from who you truly are. And a careful and gentle analysis, you can observe your thoughts. And you can observe the emotions that those thoughts create. That you as awareness, not as the thought thinking you're a thought, you as awareness can begin to affect change over thought, and body and your energy by way of awareness. Even your emotion in the stillness of your awareness will fall silent. The distractions and confusions in your mind, when you step back from your mind and you step back from the confused emotions that many of the thoughts in your minds generate, then you will find yourself moving towards peace, that you can simply say to your mind, be still, be still, be still. And that in that action of your divinity saying, be still, be still, be still. And you recognize through the breath that the mind will follow that command. If you breathe slow and deep, the complexity, the illusionary complexity over meditation gets eliminated when you learn to simply breathe and direct your mind to gently be still, be still, be still, be still. As you gain self-awareness that you can indeed affect your thoughts and you can indeed affect the energy that you call emotions in your body, then the position of creation becomes your own, and you surrender your subjectivity to the environment and the senses determining who and what you should or should not be based on what you're getting from the world around you, which again pulls you out into the world and keeps you disconnected from the very true nature of who and what you are as a spiritual entity. This movement in consciousness is not necessarily a difficult one. It can be done very simply if you apply the simple process of instructing your mind and your body to be still, quiet, and open and receptive to your awareness, and repeatedly teaching, becoming the teacher over your own mind and body, instead of yielding your own mind and body to the environment, which is mostly confusing many of you. And in that place where you begin to recognize you still exist, aware of your thought, aware of your emotion, aware of your memory, that you are separate and distinct authority over them, in that position, you begin to move towards the mystical, the miraculous, the intentional creating, the deliberate manifesting that can happen when you realize I can choose new thought, new idea, independent of what the world has conditioned my mind to believe I'm supposed to think I am. If you understand that, the world has been conditioning you into who it thinks you should be. All of these educational systems that you see on the planet are not teaching you to go within, that you have authority over your thought, that you have authority over your emotion, that you have authority over your body. And yet that is the truth. And that is the truth. When you come to that awareness, you will begin to feel the peace that is your natural state, and the love that is the natural state of recognizing that you are free moral consciousness, able to create as a function of intention, as a function of your consciousness. You are free to do this. Suffering is not your natural state. Suffering is the state that was made up for you by the world around you, and that you may transcend that, as many individuals have done. Many of the ascended masters, many of the guardians that are here, many of those from other star systems have transcended their subjectivity to the external manipulations and turned themselves inwardly to generate manifestations that is unique and distinct to each individual in that spectrum of beings. You have power over your genetics, but it must be developed. You have authority over your thoughts, but it must be developed. You have authority over your energy, which is your emotion, but it must be developed consciously. You must become aware that simple place where you make that distinction, that you are awareness observing thought, that you are awareness aware of emotion, that you are awareness aware that the body will do what you think it to do. Then the next logical conclusion is, well, what else can I direct my body and mind to think or believe that it would think and believe and do on my behalf, under my direction, as it does through this body? As we speak through this body, you see very specific things happening as a function of the energy moving through it. Just, yes. Says that he's saying that that's all for now. It's really important, though, to understand the simplicity of this, the simplicity that you are a soul a spirit of universal light, or love if you prefer, that you are here to manifest your consciousness through the medium of thought and emotion and body as an expression of your creative individuality connected to an infinite potential that allows you to have a greater understanding of how your creation can contribute to the greater functioning of the whole. But that is another discussion. Yes, I'm grateful to be here with this one here. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go on to some questions here, folks. Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys got that quote from Archangel Michael. It's so important that fear and anger, if you're lost in fear and anger, fear and anger will only result in either violence or helplessness. And that learning to cultivate patience and love will move you into the realm of creation. It's very fascinating. Good morning. Good morning, Judy. Question from Judy. I've been stopped up for a long and held back because of fear. How do I get unblocked to let my stunted creativity and true nature to flow freely? He's saying, many of you do not understand this statement, but all creation begins with imagination, which you all came into this world in the imagining of it. Understand that when you first entered that body, from the moment it emerged into flesh as what you call the conceived organism, the image was put in place. When the body evolved to the point where it exited from the female form, when it got to that place where it was in physical time and space, your imagination faculty was wide open. You see, when you first came into this world, you had no conception of language, but you had conceptions of image. Between the biological ages of 0 and 7, all children exist in this realm of imagining. They understand images, they do not understand language. And many parents would loan themselves to great excitement and pleasure if they understood that their children read the pictures in their mind as if it's the language they're speaking. But most parents will speak in the language of words to their children, which children between 0 and 5 do not understand, but they will understand the pictures that you hold in your mind. And so opening up the faculty of your imagination where you are imaging into existence, you're holding in your awareness the image, the outcome of what you wish to see outpictured in your world, and to feel that image, to be into it so deeply that you are not distracted nor your manifestation diminished by the distractions of the world. Hold the image in your mind. Imagine into existence. Use the power of image over the power of thought. Thought can come as a result of what you imagine in, and then you can detail the imagining with thought. And then, of course, you will be given inspired action when you start to imagine. Inspired action comes from imagination. Wow. Thank you so much. Question from TikTok from Kimberly. Hi, Kimberly. How do I collect the energy around me and bring it into my being? Wow, Kimberly, great question. Kimberly on TikTok. What I've been given to do recently is literally to draw any energy from the world, from your past judgments, fear, anger, guilt, shame, judgment, anything you've projected into the world, draw it back in and release it through the crown chakra. Draw it back into you, because it takes your projections back from the environment. And they told me to, when you bring those projections back, release them through the crown chakra with love and grace. You take back the negative, you release it through the crown with love and grace, and you do not concern yourself with it after that point. You will feel your energy going up immediately. You will begin to take your projections away from the world, for the projections you have put in the world are surrounding you. The good and the evil that surround you now is a projection from your own consciousness. And when you draw those projections back and transcend them by moving them through this higher energy center, you will be collecting all your energy back, and you'll be restoring yourself and your world to the true essence of what it is you came here to express as your being. Wow. They're saying they hope that helps you. Question from Vertical Connection. Souls volunteer to play certain roles, likable or unlikable. Those who negatively influence us on the earthly realm are equally unconditionally loved by the Father. Yes, there is no John saying from the source of the source, there is no judgment, but there is an assessment that you must be an expression. You must be good or you must be not good. You must have an expression. If you don't have an expression, you're not going to be part of the creation for very long. But most expressions in your existence at this time are constructed by your environment and not a matter of choice. Very few of you in this dimension are deliberately aligning yourselves to your nature. Of course, how can you do that when you are distracted by the world all the time? Going within becomes very, very important. But all in the energy of the one are viewed as equal. The good and the bad is considered all good. It is considered all good from that perspective. Only those that do not affect the function of creation of some form or another can be excluded from the process of life itself. Wow. Thank you so much. Question from Drusilla. As you speak, I'm hearing a high-pitched sound. Is that him? Yes, it is him. He's saying pull your shoulders back and open your heart center up and tilt your head up at about 30 degrees. He's saying allow the light to come in through here. Just allow the light to come in through here. Let it pass down through here into the heart. Ground it down through the root chakra in the body. It's really cool. Hang on, I'm gonna get this one first. A question from Joel. I got a phone call from a so-called CEO that I don't know, and I'm scared as he's kind of manipulating me and wants my bank account due to a fraud from an employee. What should I do? I'm getting just call the police right away. Just call the authorities. Just call the authorities. Waste no time. Ask them to speak on your behalf. But you already know this. They're saying you already know. You already know to step back from this. You already know. They're laughing because they're saying you already know. You already know. Question from Tracy Dawn Paris on TikTok. I have I have lost 3 loved ones in a year and a half. Any messages from them for me? Wow. There's like this party all of a sudden going, like there's people cheering you on right now, and they're saying, stop looking as if you've lost something. You have less to distract you to do what you came here to do. Rejoice in your new life. There is much room in your world now for more. There's room in your world for more. And we're so happy to see you. Yes, we're so happy to see you. But it's like they're dancing and celebrating around you. Big hearts. Like I'm seeing these images of big hearts. And there's this woman with blonde hair and greenish blue eyes. And she's saying, it has always been love. It has always been love. And you know this. It has always been love. We're not lost to you. None of us is lost except by your senses. Yes. I don't know, but she's also saying a lot of you must understand, if you depend upon your senses to understand our presence in your life, then you've lost your sense. For we do not live in the world of the senses, but we live in the world of energy. And you can feel our presence with you, even as we address this question to you. Feel us. Don't look to hear us with your ears or see us with your eyes or touch us with your hands. That has happened, but it is very rare. But feel our presence with you now. And in that, you will have your truth. Not in what is said, but in what you feel. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joel. Got time for 2 more questions. Wow. I got to say thanks to John today. It's been really amazing. Question here from Kate. What is a good indicator you are on the right path? You're happier. You feel unobstructed by your environment. You recognize that the world is unfolding for you, that it is not something being done to you. You begin to realize everything is unfolding for you. even that which you call bad is something that is unfolding for you, and you can change what is in your consciousness to alter even that. There is nothing in this physical dimension that is fixed permanently as one thing or another. Change is an ongoing manifestation of your creative consciousness. If it is aware and you are aware that you are creating consciousness, you must be aware that you are aware that you are separate and distinct from your thoughts and your emotions and your memories, that you are separate and distinct from these things, so that you can begin to evaluate what thoughts shall I think, for those will create your emotions, good and bad, and those emotions will create your experiences, good and bad. But become the awareness. Now, John's really coming in strong. I said, it's really important to understand to go within, go beyond subjectivity to your thoughts, go beyond the distraction of your senses, and awaken yourself. Awaken yourself. Last question of the day, folks. Song 3, music and wellness. I would love some insight into my business if you feel called. Thank you. Insight into her business. You've got this male and female guardian. They're a couple. They've been with you for a couple of lifetimes, but they've been trying to get through to you for a while. They're saying it's really important not to hold on to your feelings of anxiousness. Let go of the feelings of anxiousness at every opportunity. Let go of all your feelings of anxiousness. They said you should get out and dance some more. Go out to a place where you can dance and celebrate. They said you need to bring up the energy of celebration. And they're showing me a picture of a shamrock. I don't know what they're saying. Something about a picture of a shamrock, like something that represents like leprechauns. Those funny little 3-leaf clover things. That's kind of like that. So you need to celebrate. And I don't know but something about the Irish too. And I don't know what that means. Something about the Irish. And I'm getting that you had a lifetime as a Gaelic individual in Ireland many lifetimes ago. But these two are very insistent. You need to really start celebrating. You got to go out and celebrate and bring that energy into it. Drop all of your concern and anxiety. Have none of that. Let it all go. Let all your fear go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let your fear go. Wow. And I think that's something that we all need to pay attention to. Let your fear go. Anyway, you guys have been amazing today. I really appreciate your time, your energy. If you're new to my channel, please remember to subscribe to the channel or follow me on TikTok if that's where you are. And again, I want to put up on the board here. You've got about 3 more weeks. We start our 101 masterclass. And I encourage you to join this. This masterclass will help you to heal your mind and body and really affect your life in a powerful, positive way. You know, we have ascended masters channeling throughout the course. We have practicing mediums that will be working with you. And you go to my website and read all the details on that class. And I hope you'll come out and join us. That'd be November the 5th is when the course starts. So you still have 3 more weeks to sign up. I encourage you to do that. It's a life-changing event for you. Anything else here? Yeah, if you want to sign up, there's my YouTube channel. And if you want to get a reading with me or anything like that, you can go to follow my Linktree link, and you can, of course, see all my different platforms that I work on and the different things I do. I want to say thank you again. Have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day. I want to say thank you to my guardian angel John and the other beings that came through and communicated to us. I want to thank Archangel Michael for that message last night about anger and fear and letting those go, letting fear and anger go. And have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day. And I will see you guys on Friday at 10 a.m. for the strictly Q&A day. So much love, everybody. Talk to you in a couple days. Bye for now.